This is episode 10. We're in the double digits.
Double digits. Let's go.
Welcome to the Relationship Goals podcast and welcome back to school, everyone. I'm Melly.
And I'm BJ. Yeah, so this time of year, everyone is going back to school, whether it be elementary school, middle school, high school, and college.
Yeah, it's the end of summer and fall is just around the corner. One of my favorite things about back to school is the back to school shopping. Even though I didn't need new papers and notebooks and all that, I always did it.
So back on Guam, my mom actually worked for like that kind of store where you would go get your school supplies. So me and my brother were always, locked in, even though me and him didn't really need anything or ask for anything.
It was also like a big deal of like what your first day of school outfit was.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I don't know for you guys, but I always went to a school that had, what do you call that?
Uniforms.
Yeah, uniform. So
yeah, you went to a private school?
For high school, yeah, but middle school, no. Even my middle school was a public middle school, but we had to wear uniforms.
Actually, in my middle school too, we had like a dress code. We had to wear collared shirts and only certain colors because other colors were classified as gang colors.
Yeah, middle school, my colors were, it was like a beige, like black. It was like a thick polo shirt and it was hot. Like, I don't know what they were thinking because Guam, where I'm from originally, is island tropical weather. So it's like 100% humidity. What your boy was sweating like every day at middle school.
Yeah, no, collared shirts are hard to make cute. We had to wear those too and it was not a vibe.
Yeah, I don't have any cool back to school stories, to be honest. That part of my life I don't really remember. I have to get like pictures to kind of remember those things. I just always remember that that time period my mom would always cook whatever favorite food me and my brother wanted, and then your boy for breakfast was liked his longanisa with garlic fried rice, like a vinegar sauce with garlic. So my classmates probably smelled that from my mouth like a mile away. So I'm sorry. Yeah, those are usually what I remember with first days. I feel like they all were the same kind of day. Even when I went to UNLV, my first day was very quiet. Got to school on time. Went to my classes. I think I had like 2 classes.
You got to school on time?
Yeah, because I'm just like, that's what my dad taught me, to be prompt. So get there. Yeah, my classes were in the morning. And I think I only had 2 because I think I started my days. I think I only had Monday, Wednesday classes. If I remember that correctly.
I also only had Monday, Wednesday classes, but I was late. I did not know there was going to be traffic.
Oh, yeah, but you live like in the north side, so that's hard. That's harder where I came from.
And with the whole, I didn't know where to park and where to go to my class. And it was like the opposite side of campus at that point. And I didn't want to walk into class late. And it was like a big lecture hall. So I wasn't about that life. And I missed my first class on my first day.
I didn't. I was a studious kid.
You still get dreams of you in school. I don't know when these are going to go away, but I do.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I woke up on a Sunday and I was like, oh, I have a test. No, I don't. I've been graduated since 2013, so I'm going to go back to sleep.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I still have dreams of me, like, missing school and doing presentations and all that.
Probably like ourselves in another dimension, whether it's in school. So let's talk about this day and age. Is college even necessary? I know both of us enjoyed our college years and would do it again, maybe a little bit differently, but I definitely enjoyed it.
I mean, yeah, I really did like our college experience. I think with any school, a lot of people don't really think UNLV is that great of a school. And I mean, I think whatever you make of your experience is what it is.
I feel like, I don't think people care too much about that. Like back in the day when we were in school, or even before that, it was cool to be like, oh, I went to Harvard,
yeah,
or I went to Stanford, or any Ivy League school. But I feel like no one cares now, especially because of like social media, and a lot of famous people or social media influencers, they didn't even go to school. So, you could tell me like, oh, I graduated from Stanford. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I don't think it's as impactful as before.
And there's other ways that you can learn too. It's just not, getting a degree. I mean, yes, we have our degree, you and I, but did we need our degree for what we do now? No.
Probably not, but it definitely helps, just to be able to tell people, like, I think for me, especially being a first generation college going to the US, just being able to graduate and then have a degree is just an accomplishment in itself.
Oh yeah, I still feel accomplished. I still am grateful that I did go to college and I really do like everything that happened. You know, I wouldn't have joined a sorority. I wouldn't have done all these projects and met all these people and networked with certain people. But I mean, there's still other ways to do things. Like college is not necessary for everyone. I don't think it's a requirement of everyone nowadays.
I just think college is a lot. I mean, obviously, we graduated a while ago. I graduated back in 2013, and Melly graduated in 2015. So it's 2023. So that's a big gap of years. That's a big time difference than now. So I don't even know if college is exactly the same like how me and you went, where the jobs we're in, you know, we necessarily don't need a college degree, but I felt like the journey of getting the degree led us to be we were at now. Like it is very impactful for that. The experience itself, not the college degree, but the experience.
Yeah, because we did learn a lot from, you know, our classes and our organizations that we were a part of, and
Networking, meeting people, hanging out. But yeah, like you said, I don't think it's necessary, but to each their own. Everyone's gonna have a different path and what they think. So usually when I meet younger people now, you know, I really tell them like, you know, look into it. Is your pursuit of what you want to do something that necessarily like needs a degree? Like obviously if the person tells me like, yeah, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, you definitely need a degree. You can't just go into that without one, right?
mm-hmm. Once you're straight out of high school, you kind of don't even really know what you want to be yet. You don't have a lot of life experience. Like for me, I didn't even know what I wanted to major in. I knew I was always like a creative brain. And when I got to college, I had my major declared, but I wasn't sure I was going to stay in it. And after, you know, talking to people, and I didn't really like start taking my major classes until 2 years into college. And, you know, when you go to college, you're with other people who are also trying to figure it out too. So you're not alone in doing that. People change their majors, people change their mind, people drop out.
Speaking of changing majors, did you know I was a business major at first?
No.
You never knew that?
No.
Well, your boy here was a business major. I don't know why I chose business. I thought it was just cool. Funny thinking about it now because that's part of like what my job is helping run a business. But you know, backtracking that, yeah, your boy was a business major for all of one semester, and then I changed it to kinesiology the second semester when I met, you know, our friends now who were already in that field, because I thought it would be something cool to learn with the sports and the training aspect, and then something that if I ever did decide to go to medical, I could use that. But yeah, your boy was a business major, took one class.
He's grinning because he's throwing this at me, and I'm like, what the heck? When did this ever happen?
It was like one class, you know. I didn't like fully declare, but then I changed it in the following semester to kinesiology. But yeah, that's like the hardest part, you know. You're in school, and then you only have what really your freshman and sophomore year that you can just take gen ed or those classes before declaring. So a lot to put on kids now, because what if you think you like something and you do it and you spend money on it, and then eventually like you're in your 300 and 400 class and you're like, damn, I don't like this class. Because we've known people legit get whole degrees and completely change their career paths, but they're successful now, but still get a degree in this and then totally do something different. I know at least like 8 people who have done that.
Yeah, I think that's like a common thing. That's why I find what you love by doing other things too. Like you can attend conventions, conferences, and meet individuals who are like in the space that you want to be in and are already successful. See if that's like what you really want to do. There's a lot of ways to learn nowadays, like YouTube and doing like programs online.
Yeah, definitely focusing on seeing if you can shadow people. Like if you can shadow, like for example, for me, I shadowed, you know, trying to see if I wanted to be a doctor, and it was cool, but it wasn't something I fell in love with. But it was cool though. That helped me a lot, being able to firsthand get those experiences, and that's what I tell people to try to do too, depending on what they're looking for.
And we're not bashing anyone who does decide to go to college. Obviously, we went to college. So if you do decide to go to college, I think make the most of your college experience. Like take classes that, you know, will help you learn. Honestly, there were a lot of classes that I felt like were just taken just because I needed the credits. I took 3 years of Spanish and I don't know swiddly squat about Spanish. I think it would have been better if I applied it somehow, like if I traveled to Spain and had to use it. But yeah, a lot of classes I feel like were classes that I just took just because. And one of my professors, she was my favorite professor. And also all the classes I took with her, they gave me a lot of anxiety, but I learned a lot in her classes. And she told us some advice, and everyone would be stressed out about her classes and trying to get that A. And she told us to stop worrying about grades. She told us, you're not going to look at what grade you got, you're going to look at what you learned in that class. I mean, I think that's true. I mean, obviously, you still have to get a passing grade. And I had a GPA requirement to meet for my organization I was in. And I also was like kind of a perfectionist. So I wanted to always have good grades. But after she said that, I realized I shouldn't like let it take over me so much. But really, I don't really remember, oh, I got an A in that class, I got a B in that class. I remember this is the class I learned in, and this is what I learned. All those classes that I got easy A's in, I don't even remember anything I learned. I mean, her classes I learned the most in. Pretty much all my major classes, I think I liked.
Yeah, I enjoyed my major classes too. Those are the ones I still use a lot of information I've learned from there or have expanded on with all the knowledge that's available to us now. But I think in general, kind of like to just piggyback off you with everything. We're blessed to have been able to still get the most out of our college experience. So, we feel like our degrees are worth something because of not only, the paper and the classes and the money spent on it, but the people we met and, things we've learned and now can still apply. But I feel like what's hard in our society, especially here in the US, is that I feel like learning isn't as pushed. It's like about the goal. Oh, I want you to get an A, but I don't care about how you get the A. Like I remember when I was in school, I'm really good at taking tests and I'm really good at things like that. Like I can BS things or whatever. I've always been good at that in school. So I feel like a lot of times with that, I could just learn enough, I have a good memory, and then I could, get a B and A pretty easily. But it wasn't until like my upper division classes, the ones I mentioned, where I actually, oh man, I learned in the class. I didn't have to study or anything because I actually learned the material. Versus like from kinder till right before that, I just, okay, what do I need to get an A? Okay, I gotta do this paper, I gotta study this, I gotta cram this. Like it was just a chore. It was to get the A, to get the GPA. And I feel like that kind of sucks because after college and then doing things now, I'm having so much fun learning, like actually learning, that I feel like I wish they could do that more so with kids nowadays or college nowadays. There are teachers who do that, but I feel like the whole structure of it isn't like that.
Yeah, no, I agree because I think a lot of it too is your grades just mean you're really well disciplined because someone can be very lazy but very smart. They don't want to do the work. They don't, want to write a paper and turn it in, but they know everything. And that could also be it too. And again, with the college is what you make of it. If you feel like you're not feeling fulfilled from college, obviously you have to do something about it, whether it's joining an organization or doing an internship. I think that really helped us. I joined 2 orgs that were under my major, and my major required an internship. Your major didn't?
No, I think you could have, but it wasn't mandatory.
Well, I'm glad they did because I think that's helpful, to like get experience. But
I got a funny one.
What?
I had a special org though. The people listening to this, they'll know. Shout out to our SRWC crew. Everyone knows like our special club that we were. We meet up every afternoon to evening and spent all our lovely time at the best gym in all of Las Vegas. Still to me.
Actually, it is
the WC, yeah, and then hoop and go to Tofu Hut, racquetball with 2 of my best friends.
I actually have videos of you guys
strolling down memory lane.
Extracurricular activities too. I feel like you meet a lot of people who are like-minded like you, and I mean, for me, I wasn't even going to stay at UNLV. Like, I remember the first, I was supposed to go to SDSU and I didn't. So my plan was to transfer, but the first few weeks of school at UNLV, I was miserable. It was like a day-to-day routine of going to school, going to work, doing my homework, sleep, repeat. And I hated it because I needed to be like part of something. I didn't have any friends that were at the school. I mean, I knew people at the school, but none, were my friends that I could hang out with. I came across my Greek organization that I'm in, and I felt like I really matched with them. And
then she met your boy.
Yeah, that is how we met. Okay. That is how we met. Both me and BJ, we pledged our Greek organizations the same semester. say all you want about Greek life, but I really think they helped a lot with us develop. I mean, we can get into that next week for next week's episode of Resh.
Foreshadowing.
But we really love our Greek organizations. Obviously, we are still very good friends with our fraternity brothers and sorority sisters. But no, I really think it's important to join an organization that, you know, you like, even if you don't like Greek life.
There are
Joining,
other, yeah, there are
joining other things. Like I was part of Key Club in high school. There was like Circle K in college, and you know, there's like little clubs that they make, you know, for interest.
Yeah, like if you're an aspiring doctor, lawyer, or someone in that kind of field, I'm pretty sure there's clubs for that, you know?
My major had a marketing advertising organization, and it had a public relations organization, which I joined both.
Yeah, my major, we just, worked out at the gym and said what's up to each other. You know? Well, that's what we did. I'm pretty sure with the club too. I didn't join it because I think at that time, most people were using my major to become a physical therapist, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't join that club.
I feel like it's really helpful because that also, like, you know, helps you network and helps you meet friends, maybe even significant others.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
And yeah, we highly encourage it. It also looks good on your resume.
It definitely does. And one thing that I'm going to add to Melly's beautiful words of saying is it can actually help you put yourself in a leadership position, because both me and Melly were in leadership positions within our Greek orgs. And for me personally, that really helped me, hone in and sharpen those skills of mine, which I still utilize now at my job, being, working hard to be the best leader that I can be. And definitely being that for my Greek org allowed me to get those reps in, the practice, being able to speak to people, interpersonal communication. So that definitely helped me out a lot. And I still utilize those skills right now.
And also after you graduate, I think learning never stops. I worked at a salon right after I graduated. I was their marketing manager. And there are about like 200 hairdressers that were there. And they always continued to work on their techniques and learning. We had product knowledge classes, hairstyling and cutting classes. Even though these hairdressers went to cosmetology school, there's still so much more to learn and so much more that you can add to your techniques and skills. So we had a lot of classes that were offered as much as possible. So our hairdressers were always, continuing to learn and continuing to build their skill, because, that just adds on to their expertise. They could charge more and they can do more services for a client.
Yeah, that's definitely something like in my job that I push my coworkers to continue learning. There are a lot of podcasts you can utilize to learn about what we do, a lot of research you can look into. So much is more available now and usable than when I was in school. So I always tell them that knowledge is power. Learning is key. Continue to stimulate your mind. Every day you can learn something new and work on something.
What's something you want to learn?
I like learning other languages because I have so many people who are from different parts of the world that come into my store. So just mastering more Spanish. Actually, I'm trying to learn Portuguese, or like Brazilian Portuguese. There's a lot of Brazilian people that come through. Obrigado. Obrigado. Ethiopian. That's hard though.
I really want to learn. Go ahead, answer for me.
Sign language.
I talk about it all the time.
I think it's cool.
I feel like I need to go to a class physically and, follow a program for me to learn, because there's just so much to learn. And I know my ABCs. I know like how to greet someone. But other than that, I need, some discipline. But yeah, I really like sign language, and I think everyone needs to learn sign language, honestly. And if you want to learn sign language and want to come with me to classes, holler at me. I was about to go to sign language classes, and then COVID happened. I emailed them. I knew.
Really?
Yeah, I emailed them. I had the times for classes, and COVID happened, and they were going to do online classes, and I didn't sign up for those. And then they closed down. They closed down.
That sucks.
Yeah. So someday I will learn sign language, but I really want to, because I think it's a very nice language to have. If you're like getting kidnapped or something and you can't talk, you could like sign the other person on the other side and be like, how do we escape?
Or you could learn jujitsu and like choke out the person that's trying to kidnap you.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Put him in a darce choke or something,
And again, we're not bashing you if you go to college.
We're just telling you to really take your time to maximize those years and money. Remember, College isn't free unless you have a scholarship. Then still don't waste that, you know.
And always just keep learning, whether you go to college, whether you go learn
To like
a
a
different
trade
way.
school or
Yeah,
anything like that. Yeah, just continuous education.
learn. But that wraps it up for this episode. Good luck to those who are starting school this year. Hope you guys enjoy your classes and learn a lot.
Big brain power to y'all.
You can find more on our social media platforms at Relationship Goals Podcast. We'll catch you guys at the next one. Peace.